It is not that I am a good Muslim all the time, or that I am even a good Muslim or any Muslim most of the time. It is not that, but it is that the consciousness of being confronted with a choice about something that's so fundamental to my identity and my sense of being, or else. And so if I want human rights, I have to stop being Muslim? No way. If I want democracy, I have to. So if you present, I'm talking about discourse, if you present issues in terms of Islam and democracy, Islam and secularism, Islam and human rights, Islam and whatever it is, as a choice, you are dooming whatever it is that you are posing in those terms. For me, at least as a Muslim. I know that, and I would expect it to be true about for other Muslims. So the point is, it is both conceptually incoherent to counterpose Islam with institutions and concepts like human rights or democracy and so on, or Islam and the West. Again, that's another incoherence upon incoherence. Counterposing a world religion with a geopolitical religion, which is not by any means defined in any way that is coherent or systematic or uniform. So it is many aspects of our discourse. I'm just raising this to say let us try to be as clear and as precise in our discourse as we can, because that helps our conversation. Okay, let me move on to talk about the idea of what I call a strong thesis for weak secularism. A strong thesis for weak secularism. It is a strong thesis in that, as I already said, I don't believe that a religious state is possible. I speak about an Islamic state, but I think it is true about other religious traditions. The state cannot be religious. Not that it should not be religious, but it cannot be religious. That's why it is a strong thesis. For a weak secularism, by that I mean, I'm not talking about secularization or secularism as a life philosophy or a worldview or a social phenomenon or whatever, intellectual and so on. I'm talking about the very specific aspect of it, which is to do with the secular nature of the state as what I call religiously neutral about religion. So I'm talking about a state that is deeply contextual, that is historical, that is, we're not talking about a state that is transferable from one place to another. The state of this place is its own state, historical, contextual, demographic. So the religion of the place and the people of the place and the history of the place, all of that make the state the way it is. So there is no talk about transplanting American secularism, as you might come to think, given my view of it, to any other place. But the point is that this state, which is contextual, historical, a product of its time and place, for its time and place, I would say that it should be normatively minimalist from a religious point of view. Meaning that it is not that the state can be neutral in every respect. And we do not want the state to be neutral in every respect. About social justice, about law and order, about many things, the state will not be neutral. But the point is that it should not take a position on matters of religious doctrine. It should not claim to enforce a religious point of view or a normative religious point of view. So I say that the weak secularism, I mean, is one in which the state takes the least possible normative positions to enable it to mediate the reality of conflict between religion and the state, religion and politics. That paradox I mentioned. That is, the state needs to take positions in order to be able to mediate rather than resolve permanently. The fact that people will act politically in ways that are consistent with the religious beliefs and values, but people should not act in that way, in a way that makes the state itself taken over by that particular religious view. In other words, the struggle is how to enable the connectedness of religion and politics to play out in ways that do not permit religion to come into the state through the back door of politics.